Last year when people asked me which is the best budget smartphone of 2016, out of compulsion I had to recommend the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. Despite that smartphone having poor cameras and an industrial design, it still was the best smartphone in its budget in terms of performance. This year Xiaomi has introduced the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 and this is as better as it could have gotten. If you don't know me yet, my name is Sid and you may love or hate Xiaomi phones depending on your preference and your experience with them. However, it is very difficult to ignore a power-packed performer like this one. Watch on to know if Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 can score the same marks as its predecessor or not. Let me start by saying that Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 isn't a groundbreaking upgrade over the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 in most aspects. However, it does pack in major changes in all that counts, and maybe, just maybe, that is all that was needed. I'd equate this phone with Samsung Galaxy S7. Just like that, it does not offer anything revolutionary compared to its predecessor. However, whatever it does with it at the end leaves you with a much better smartphone. And this fine tweaking is visible as soon as you pick the device and put it in your palm. There are some subtle changes here. The phone from the front now has a 2.5D curved glass which seamlessly blends into the metal unibody design. The curves on the back also make this a better phone to handle in terms of ergonomics, and of course metal unibody is appreciated at this budget because in my opinion it makes the smartphone look a bit more premium, a bit more sturdy. However, at the end of the day, Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 looks akin, it is not very distinct from the predecessor, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. But maybe Xiaomi is absolved of this sin because in China Xiaomi is called as the Apple of China, and maybe they are just living up to its name by not changing the design of their upcoming smartphones. But overall the designing of the smartphone is quite nice, and what is nice as well is how this smartphone makes other things look on its 5.5-inch Full HD display. While same in terms of specifications, it does feel a couple of notches up than the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 in terms of vividness, vibrancy, and of course the viewing angles. There are no issues in the display. It is one of the crispiest ones around, even though it is not the brightest one around. And now let's talk about the internals. One reason for Xiaomi Redmi Note 3's high popularity back then was that it was also one of the most powerful smartphones in its price bracket. This year, Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 has employed my favorite CPU, the Snapdragon 625 on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4. Now, this CPU is both powerful and power efficient. It has appeared in devices like Moto Z Play and Lenovo P2 and it has proven its efficiency in the past. But what Xiaomi has done is that it has brought this mid-range CPU to the budget segment. This CPU is available for under 15,000 rupees now, and that makes Xiaomi again the most powerful smartphone in its price bracket. The performance is top notch, it's swift and snappy with whatever you do with it. Even when it comes to gaming, I had no issues playing the FPS titles as the experience is lag free, and while playing the racing games there were no rendering problems as well. The only problem I had with the smartphone is that the speakers are rather unimpressive. They have been moved from back to the bottom now, but neither they are too loud nor they are too clear, they are just average. And now let's talk about the software for a while. The phone runs on Android Marshmallow, but it tops it up with MIUI 8, which is one of the better Chinese operating systems available out there. Being an Android familiarist, I still don't like the absence of an app drawer, but that can be solved using a third-party launcher. Barring that, I like MIUI. It packs in a lot of pre-installed applications which you may or may not like, but some of them like Call Recorder, Notes and SwiftKey are quite useful in my opinion. And you also get software features like Second Space, wherein you can run two different accounts of one app and WhatsApp yourself basically, or the Security Center which can optimize your phone just with one tap. It's conveniences like these which make Android experience better on this custom OS. Now, one major bummer with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 was that despite being a beast otherwise, the cameras on the smartphone were pretty poor. And the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 does try to improve that. It has much better cameras than the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. However, it still isn't the best in its class. The day shots are flawless and the indoor shots too are acceptable in the day. But the shots in artificial light are a bit noisy. But the biggest pain for me is the HDR. Firstly, it doesn't turn on automatically, and secondly, the HDR shots take a lot of time to process, and you're not allowed to move your hands, because if you do that, this is likely to happen. And the HDR is especially irritating in the night time. Oh, and that reminds me, I still don't trust this camera in the night. The photos lack detail, and there are a lot of flares you would notice around the lights in the dark. Do note, however, that cameras when compared to Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 do look much improved. However, a lot of water has flown since then. Nowadays you can get a CoolPad Cool One Dual or a Moto G4 Plus in the same price bracket with much better optics to offer. Coming to the front camera, it's fine in terms of quality. Though as a selfie lover, I personally don't appreciate front shooters which lack a screen flash for my night feeds. Lastly, let's talk about the battery life of the smartphone. The phone packs in a 4100 mAh cell, which is only a marginal increase compared to Xiaomi Redmi Note 3's battery. However, given the efficient processing of Snapdragon 625, this phone really lasts long. It would easily last you for a day and a half, even if you're a bit reckless with your usage. And when it does finally die out, you can always top it up using the fast charger which this phone supports. Battery is not an issue. The only issue I've had with this smartphone as of now is with the hybrid dual SIM slot. So there are two SIM cards that you can insert here. One is the primary slot which only hosts micro SIMs, and the secondary slot which only hosts nano SIMs, or you can add a micro SD card instead of that. But if you are like me, if you want to use a nano SIM card with an SD card, you would have to purchase an extra adapter. Plus it looks a bit too odd that the primary SIM card slot has micro SIM support, which is a dated version of SIMs. It should have been other way around in my opinion. And there are chances that you might not need to use a second SIM card slot as an SD card slot, because the phone now ships in two capacious storage variants, 32GB and 64GB. The 16GB model is thankfully now gone. Talking about extra features, you get SD card support, you also get FM radio and IR blaster from last generation, and the fingerprint scanner performance remains the same. Though I like the fact that you can also use the fingers to unlock applications in this phone. Now, the review is done, but before I give you my verdict, there is an issue I'd like to address. You see, whenever I review a Xiaomi product, I notice some very strong comments in the comment section below. There are two sets of people. First, who accuse me of promoting Chinese brands by reviewing these products, and second set of people who accuse me of not including after sales support in my review. For the first set of people, as a reviewer, I review anything that is available in my country without having any bias towards its country of origin. So that is my job, and just for your information, even iPhone is made in China. For second set of people who focus on after sales, I have as of now owned 3 Xiaomi devices. 2 of them never needed a repair. But I remember I sent my Mi 5 for repair once. I was covered in Mi Protect, so they picked up the phone from my doorsteps, they fixed it, they dropped it back on my doorsteps. They served me quite well back then. But this is months and months ago. So I don't know, maybe I just got lucky. All I'm saying is, after sales is a very subjective thing. And if you have had a bad experience with the company, I do not to change it even one bit with my review. However, if you're looking to buy a new smartphone, if you're planning to buy the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4, I do insist you check out my verdict. So, how's the phone? Well, it's a great smartphone. May it be display, performance, battery life or features, Xiaomi has completely nailed it this time. Even though it's not a perfect smartphone, mind you, the speaker quality is rather mediocre, the cameras aren't the best ones out there, but the pricing is so damn sweet, it gets absolved of all those sins. There are multiple storage variants available at multiple price points which cover entire budget spectrum. However, I don't think that Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 will have the same feat as the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. Get this. CoolPad Cool One Dual and the upcoming Honor 6X plan to bring dual camera setup at around the same price points. Next month launching Moto G5 Plus packs in the same CPU 625 along with stock Android Nougat running out of the box, apart from having a better brand name, Moto. And even Leico Lead 3 looks pretty promising on the paper. So 2017 might not be as smooth as 2016 was for Xiaomi. However, for here and now, Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 is the best budget smartphone your money can buy. The only question is, for how long? And that's what I think of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4. But what is more important for me to know is what you think of this smartphone. Put your comments in the comment box below after you've liked and more importantly shared this video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and do come back to see more videos of mine. I'm Sid. Ciao.